Good morning, students. Today we shall revise all those concepts which we have learned up till now. So, first, what are integers? Integers are the collection of negative numbers and positive numbers along with 0. Here, you can clearly see this whole number line is representing the integers, where to the right of 0 lies all the positive integers and to the left of 0 lies all the negative integers. One thing you should keep in your mind is that 0 is neither a positive nor a negative integer. Okay? Let us now see how to add and subtract the integers. So, if we are given two integers having the same sign, then we have to add both the integers. Okay, if both are positive or both are negative. Okay, in both the cases we will add both the integer and the resultant sign will be positive in case of two positive integers, and it will be negative in case of two negative integers. Okay, so let us see the example. Here in the first example we have two positive integers, that is 2 and plus 5. Plus 2 and plus 5 when added will give us the result plus 7. Now the next example we have two negative integers, that are minus 2 and minus 5. Okay, so whenever two negative integers are added, we have the resultant with the negative sign. So here our answer will be minus 7. As we are adding integers, so minus 2 and minus 5 will get added and our answer will be minus 7. In the third case, if we have two integers with different sign, then we will subtract both the integers. Okay, and what will be the sign? The sign will be of the greater integer. Okay, in both the cases, whenever the integers are having the different sign, in both the cases we will have the sign of the larger integer. So in the first case, if we have 2 plus minus 5, here this plus and minus will get multiplied and will become minus. 2 minus 5, here one is positive and other is negative. So finally we will subtract both the integer and a resultant sign will be negative, because the negative integer minus 5 is the larger and having the negative sign. Now in the fourth one we are having the first integer as negative and the second one as positive. So in this case also, when we have two integers with different sign, we will subtract both the integer and the resultant sign will be the sign of the larger integer. Okay, when we subtract 2 from 5, we have plus 3, because here the larger integer 5 is having the positive sign. Okay, now let us see the rules for the subtraction of integers. So whenever we are given two integers with the same sign and we have to do subtraction, then simply we will subtract both the integers and the sign will be of the larger integer. Okay, let us see the example. Here in the first example we have two integers, both are positive. This negative sign is because we are doing the operation of subtraction. So 2 minus 5 will be minus 3, because minus 5 is a greater integer, it is having the negative sign. Our next example is minus 2 minus 5. Okay, and we are doing the subtraction, so there will be a negative sign along with that. So this minus will get multiplied and it will become the positive. So minus 2 plus 5. Okay, minus 2 plus 5 will give us plus 3, because here the greater integer 5 is having the positive sign. Now in the third case we are having two integers. First is positive and second is negative, and we have to do the subtraction in both the integers. So whenever the first integer is positive and the second is negative, and we have to do the operation of subtraction. Okay, so we will see that there are two negative signs coming one after the other. Okay, and this sign will get changed into addition after multiplication. So our final result will be of addition. Okay, let us see the example now. Here the first one is 2, that is a positive integer, and the second is minus 5. We can clearly see that between 2 and minus 5 there are two negative signs, and which will multiply and give us the positive sign. Okay, now in the second step we can see that it is 2 plus 5. Okay, we can see that simply we have to add both the integers, so our answer will be plus 7. Understood? In the last case we have the first integer negative and the second integer positive. Okay, here in this case also we will add both the integers. Okay, so the example minus 5 minus 2. Okay, there are two negative integers, minus 2 and minus 5. This minus is because of the subtraction operation which we are doing. Okay, so both these minus sign, here we will add both the negative integers and our answer will be minus 7. Okay, because in this case we have the resultant with the negative sign, so our answer will be minus 7. Let us now see how to multiply the integers. Whenever we are given two integers with the same sign and we have to multiply both the integer, we will get the resultant positive. And when we multiply two integers with different sign, we will get the resultant negative. Okay, so a rule is multiplying integers with the same sign gives us a positive result, and multiplying integers with different sign gives us a negative result. Okay, in case of division, here also the rule is same. Whenever we divide two integers with the same sign, we will get the positive resultant, and whenever we divide two integers with different sign, we get the resultant negative. Okay, in short we can say same sign gives us positive result and different sign gives us negative result. Okay, now students, with the help of this table you can clearly understand the property for the operation on integers. Our first property is the closure property. In this we have studied that whenever we apply any of the operation on integer, we get the resultant in the form of integer or not. So in the first case, whenever we add two integer, we get the resultant in the form of integer. Or whenever we subtract two integer, again we get the resultant as integer only. In case of multiplication also, we get the resultant of multiplication of two integer as integer only. But in the case of division, it is not so. Whenever we divide two integer, it is not necessary that we get the resultant in integer form every time. Okay, it can be a decimal number or a fraction also. So we can say that whenever we add two integer, we get the resultant as an integer. Whenever we subtract two integer, we get the resultant integer. Whenever we multiply two integers, we get the resultant as integer, but not in case of division. So integers are closed under addition, subtraction and multiplication. Okay, now let us see in case of commutative property. The second property is the commutative property. In this property, we change the order of the integers being operated. So in the first, we will change the order when we add both the integers. So whenever we change the order of the integers being added, we get the same result. And in case of multiplication also, we get the same result when we change the order of the integers being multiplied. But it is not so in the case of subtraction and division. Okay, we do not get the same result whenever we subtract two integers and if we change the order. And if we divide two integers, then also on changing their order, we do not get the same result. Understood? Now, the third property is the associative property. Okay, In this, we shall take up three different integers and will pair up the integers differently. Okay? In the LHS side, we will pair up the first two integers, and in the RHS side, we will pair up the last two integers. So, by pairing up the integers differently for addition, we get the same resultant. Okay? In case of multiplication also, whenever we pair up the integers differently, we get the same resultant. But not in the case of subtraction and division. So we can say that associative property holds for addition and multiplication of integers, but not in case of subtraction and division. The last property is the distributive property. In this, the integer which is outside the brackets gets distributed to the integers which is inside the bracket. Okay. So a into b plus c will be equal to ab plus ac. It is true for the case of addition and subtraction, but in case of multiplication and division it is not applicable. Okay, understood? So we can say that multiplication is distributed over addition and subtraction. Okay, this multiplication is distributive over addition as well as in subtraction. Okay, students, let us do some questions to revise our concept. Here we are given the integer and we have to write down the additive inverse. So what will be the additive inverse of 10? It will be minus 10, because 10 and minus 10 on adding gives us 0. Also, the additive inverse of minus 8 will be plus 8. The additive inverse of minus 9 will be plus 9. Understood? So, whenever we add an integer and its additive inverse, we get the answer 0. Using this concept, you can find out the additive inverse. The next one is, you have to verify the relation a minus minus b gives us a plus b with the help of the following examples. The first one is a is equals to 21 and b is equals to 18. So, first of all, we will put up the values of a and b in the LHS side. Here we are having the LHS a minus b. Okay, this is the LHS. So, we will put up the values of a and b in the LHS side. Okay, a is 21 and b is 18. Okay, so by putting up the values, we have 21 minus 18. Here these two minus will get multiplied and will convert into a positive sign. Okay, so it will be 21 plus 18 and our answer will be plus 39. Now we will see the case of RHS. Here the RHS is a plus b. So we will put up the values of a and b in the RHS. A plus b, that is 21 plus 18, because a is 21 and b is 18. Here also we are getting the answer 39. So we have seen in both the cases, in LHS and RHS, we are getting the answer 39. So we can say that LHS is equals to RHS. So we have proved that a minus minus b is equals to a plus b. Okay, whenever we are given two negative sign one after the other, we will just multiply it and will convert into plus. Okay, now the third question is, find the product using suitable properties. So here the question is 26 into minus 48 plus minus 48 into minus 36. So we can see that this question consists of two parts. The first part is 26 into minus 48 and the second part is minus 48 into minus 36. Because there is a plus operation in between both of them. So it will be in two parts. The first part is this one, because these both are in multiplication. The second will be this part. Here also these both are in multiplication, so it will be considered to be the second part. Okay, in our first part and second part, we can see that there is minus 48 repeated 2 times. Okay, here also in the first part there is also minus 48, in the second part also we have minus 48. So we have read one property, that is the distributive property. Whenever an integer is present outside the bracket, it will be distributed with the integers which is present inside the bracket under the operation of addition or subtraction. Okay, so we can see that this minus 48 is distributed with both the parts. Okay, so if we take up this minus 48 outside the bracket, so what we are left with? In the first part we are left with 26. Okay, and after that there will be a plus sign. In the second part we are left with minus 36. Okay, so what will be the next step? The next step will be minus 48 into 26 minus 36, because after taking up minus 48, the first part there is 26 left and the plus sign, and in the second part minus 36 is left. So the next step will be minus 48 into 26 plus minus 36. Now when we operate this, we have this plus and minus in multiplication, so it will be minus. Okay, 26 minus 36, and after operating 26 minus 36 we have minus 10. This will be in multiplication with 48 in all the steps, minus 48 in all the steps. So in the last step, what will be the answer? It will be minus 48 into minus 10, that is 480. So our answer will be 480. Which property we have used? We have used the distributive property. And this property states that whenever integer is present outside the bracket, it is distributed with the integers present inside the bracket in in addition or in subtraction. Okay. The second part is 8 into 53 into minus 125. Okay. So we have to find out the product using the suitable properties. We have learned one property, that is the commutative property, which says whenever we change the order of the integers being multiplied, we will get the same result. So if we change the order, we have 8 into 53 into minus 125. We will change this order and it will be 53 into 8 into minus 125. Okay, we have changed the order. Now we will first multiply the last two integers. Okay, we can do so. If we multiply 8 and minus 125, we have minus 1000. Okay, and this minus 1000 will lastly multiply with 53 and we'll have the answer minus 53,000. Okay. So students, let us now do some word problems. This is the question from the first exercise 1.1. Rita goes 20 kilometers east from point A to point B. From B, she moves 30 kilometers towards west along the same road. And if the distance traveled towards the east is represented by a positive integer, then how will you represent the distance traveled towards the west? By which integer will you represent a final position from A? So, if Rita is starting from point A and moving towards the east direction, her distance are taken as positive. Okay. From point A, she is moving 20 kilometers towards the east and reaches the point B. From point B, she is moving towards the west and after 30 kilometers she stops. So we have to find out by which integer we will represent the distance traveled towards the west and which integer will represent the final position from point A. Okay. So let us do it. Point O is taken as 0. Okay. It is taken as 0 in the number line. From A towards the right, we are taking the distances positive. So from A towards the left, we will take up the distances with a negative sign. Okay, so the distance towards east is positive, that is on the right hand side, and distance towards the west is negative, which is on the left hand side. Okay, now it is given that she goes 20 kilometers towards east to point B. Okay, so her distance AB will be represented with the positive integer. Okay, now from B she is moving towards the west direction and up to 30 kilometer. Okay, so her distance BC will be represented with minus 30 kilometer. Now we have to calculate what is the distance traveled for her final position. So her final position will be 20 plus minus 30. So it will be 20 minus 30, that is minus 10. Okay, so her final position from point A will be minus 10 because she has covered the 20 kilometer distance up to A, and after that she is taking up 10 kilometer more to reach point C, and which is in the west direction, so we will take up as minus 10 kilometer. Her final position will be represented by a negative integer and it will be minus 10 kilometer. Okay. The next question, a cement company earns a profit of rupees 8 per bag of white cement sold and a loss of rupees 5 per bag of grey cement sold. The company sells 3000 bags of white cement and 5000 bags of grey cement in a month. What is the profit or loss? Here in this question we are denoting the profit with the positive sign or a positive integer and loss with a negative integer. So here the profit on white cement is rupees 8 and the loss on the grey cement is rupees minus 5. Okay. Now the profit on one bag of white cement is rupees 8. So the profit for 3000 bags will be 8 multiplied by 3000, which is 24,000 rupees. So the profit for white cement bags will be 24,000 rupees. Now the loss for one bag of grey cement is rupees minus 5. Okay. So the loss for 5000 bags of grey cement will be 5000 into minus 5. Okay, that is minus 25,000 rupees. So the loss on the grey cement bags will be minus 25,000. We have to calculate the total profit or loss or the overall profit or loss, which will be total profit plus total loss. Okay, here we are adding the loss and profit because we are already denoting the loss with the negative integer. So it will be 24,000 plus minus 25,000, and plus minus will be minus in the next step, 24,000 minus 25,000, and whenever two integers with different signs are added, we have the sign of the greater integer. So it will be minus 1000 rupees. Okay. So the overall loss will be 1000 rupees, or we can say the total loss will be 1000. Now the second part of the question is, what is the number of white cement bags it must sell to have neither profit nor loss if the number of grey bags sold is 6400 bags. Okay, the loss on one grey bag is minus 5 rupees, so the loss on 6400 bags of grey cement will be minus 5 into 6400. It will be minus 32,000 rupees. So the loss for 6400 bags, grey bags, will be minus 32,000 rupees. Now let us consider the number of bags of white cement sold Bx. Okay, we are supposing that the number of white cement bags sold Bx. Now the profit on one bag of white cement is rupees 8. So the profit on x bags will be 8 multiplied by x. So it will be 8x. Okay. Now the overall profit or loss is 0. It is given. So the total profit plus total loss will be 0. Here we have calculated the total profit as 8x because the number of bags of white cement we have supposed x, and the profit for one bag is 8. So for x bags it will be 8x. So the total profit will be 8x. The total profit will be 8x, and the total loss we have calculated is minus 32,000, and the sum will be 0. 8x plus minus 32,000 will be 0. So 8x minus 32,000 is equals to 0. Here this plus minus will multiply and change into minus, okay, is equals to 0. 8x minus 32,000 is equals to 0. This 32,000 will be shifted to the other side and its sign will get changed. It will be plus 32,000. 8x is equals to 32,000. Now this 8 will be shifted to the other side and it will be in division. Okay, here it is in multiplication, so its sign will be of division. So 32,000 divided by 8 gives us 4,000. So we have now calculated the number of white cement bags sold, which is 4,000 bags. Okay, understood? Now the question is completed.